the daily office, in Chicago on the west side is the clearest in my memory. We would usually, before breakfast, I think, most of the time, the bell would ring, 6 o'clock, 6:30, whatever. We were to go over to the big building, which was called the Jet Hangar, about, what, a 3-minute walk away from where we were living in faculty, I think. Anyhow, it was a big kind of, what do you call it, depot? Anyhow, a big building.
Warehouse.
A warehouse, that's the word I want. And we'd be lined up on the two sides. The architecture was to have the reredos, a double X, this in what was called the East. I think it would be, I don't know if it would be actual East or not, but it was a liturgical East. So that would be on the East, and then the people on the left and people on the right. And 6 liturgists, one who would read the liturgy, basically, one who would lead the congregation in replying, and then one who would read from the Old Testament, one who would read from the New Testament, one who would give the contemporary witness, and one who would click the things that told you to stand up and sit down, I think. And the daily office, which probably lasted 15 minutes, 20 minutes if the witness was short, as it should be, was characterized by this beat, which was like the heartbeat, all the way through the heart of the beat, but occasionally then the cymbals breaking in and the clacker telling you when to kneel down and stand up. And the language of it was very much the things taken from I think from the Book of Common Prayer of the Church of England. It seemed quite familiar, and with a few things that were, I think, uniquely ours, like, yeah, I don't know exactly, but the prayers would be for the church and the world. And then there's the dedication was, there'd be the offering, well, you had the 3 acts, which we always talked about in RS1, the confession, the praise, and the dedication. And the dedication part would be passing the basket in which you would put a penny, signifying you're giving everything. And the repetition there, I think, was maybe the thing I'd remember the most out of that, was all the time that was happening. It would be, I was hungry and you gave me food, I was thirsty and you gave me drink, back and forth, back and forth. I was in prison, you visited me, I was sick and you came into me. And at the end, let all that you do be done in love. So, and passing the peace, and a lot of clapping, things like that. I remember 2 things from that. I remember when my dad was visiting, maybe before we got married, I'm not sure when. No, it was much later, when Joan was there, because my dad was quite moved by this, you know, and when his little granddaughter was right beside him, and she'd say to him, Norman, which is his first name, and say, don't think she said grandpa, but she said, you know, the peace of God is yours this day. But that passing the peace was important. Yeah, I missed that. That was quite important. The daily office to me, I think. Well, the daily office was just the rehearsal or repetition of the story of the truth we lived before, which was putting, using the traditional language to talk about using the traditional language which had been reconnected with life events for us through the course of the religious studies. And I guess it was doing it also in the group, so that the community, to me it's the cement, or the re-strengthening of the community, whether it's the daily office or the common meal or whatever, any office. It reminds us what the community exists for.